Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful greeting. It is so good to be back in Ashraf 3. I feel at home here, and I really do. You raise my spirits and enable me and all the others from outside of Ashraf 3 and Iran to do what my friend John McCain always said: there is no greater satisfaction in life than serving a cause larger than ourselves. And that is the cause you are serving, and we are proud to support with you tonight. Freedom, freedom, freedom for the people of Iran. Mrs. Rajavi, was again an inspiration to hear you speak. And I was thinking to myself, the regime in Tehran criticizes you and the NCRI, MEK constantly. And they threaten violence against meetings of your and our organization. Do you know why they do that? They're afraid of you. They're afraid of you because they know that your support among the Iranian people is rising and theirs is falling toward collapse. And that means freedom for Iran. No movement can succeed without strong followers. And this movement for freedom in Iran has a strong and growing following. But no movement for transformation, for political revolution, can succeed without a great leader. And in Maryam Rajavi, you have a great leader, a woman of gifted talents, of intelligence, of principle, of passion. I was thinking of how I could compare her with others who have been leaders in our time, and this may seem a little strange, Mrs. Rajavi. I would say you're a combination of Margaret Thatcher and Mother Teresa. That's it. meaning strength, compassion, and a guiding principle of light. I want to, not surprisingly, agree with what Mrs. Rajavi said in her remarks. And I do this to back up what I said a moment ago. The regime in Tehran fights the NCR-MEK because they're afraid of you. If they weren't afraid of you, if your strength was not growing, they would ignore you. But they know it's not. And that is because they, more than anyone else, knows that they are on that slippery slope Mrs. Rajavi talked of. They are on the road to collapse where they belong. Martin Luther King famously said that the moral arc of the universe bends slowly, but it always bends toward justice. So tonight I would paraphrase him and say, the political arc of the universe sometimes bends slowly, but it always bends toward freedom. And that is what we are about, all of us who are privileged to be here to support you. I'm here as an American, and I'm here as an American not to support the Iranian resistance because you are the enemies of our enemy, the Islamic Republic of Iran. I'm here to support the resistance because you represent the same values that animated and motivated our own resistance in the 18th century that led to the freedom of the United States, the Declaration of Independence, and our Constitution. The regime in Iran represents everything that is opposite. It is guilty of high crimes of tyranny, violence, and corruption against its own people. It's guilty of aggression against its neighbors and supporting terrorists who have killed hundreds, thousands of people throughout the world. Its own people courageously challenge the regime's survival every day. Its neighbors in the Arab world and Israel are joining together for the first time to better protect themselves from the regime in Tehran and its influence in Washington and other great capitals of the civilized democracies of the world is finally disappearing. There is only one acceptable solution to the problems created by the terrorist government in Tehran. It must be removed, and soon will be, by its own people, led by the NCRI-MEK resistance and its supporters throughout the region and the world.